Very cool. And Stupar is how you pronounce the last name, right? Seems like it should be fairly simple, but okay. All right, we're going to welcome on to the show Nate Stupar. He is a linebacker for the New Orleans Saints. Went to Penn State, was a linebacker at Penn State. Got drafted in the 7th round by the Raiders. He's kind of bounced around a little bit, but kind of caught on in New Orleans. And we thank him for joining the show. Welcome on, Nate.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So last year, you tore your ACL kind of the middle of the year. Yeah. How's that going for you? How's the rehab going? How's the process going? You getting close?
It's going well, man. Obviously in the beginning it was rough, especially in having our newborn baby. That was definitely an interesting experience because she wasn't the easiest baby. So it was a lot of tension there, with her trying to help me and help the baby and everything like that. And, but after you got to a certain point where the pain subsided and you kind of gained strength and everything like that back in the knee, things started progressing fairly quickly. So I'm about a little over 4 months out now, and I'm lifting, running, cutting, and jumping, which is fun to finally get back to doing.
I'm sure, yeah.
And it's been going well, man. Been crushing it, but being smart at the same time, being strong and adding weight where I can, but also being smart where, like, hey, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. So the Saints have been doing a really good job of putting me through workouts and the rehab and everything like that, and they really know what they're doing. So I'm really glad that I was able to stay with them and to finish the rehab up.
Yeah, it's great. That's good. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I think this year is your contract year, right? But if it had been, if you had, say, your contract had ran out last season, this offseason, if you weren't signed by the Saints, I don't know how it works, right? But like, it's almost like you maybe have to be on your own, right?
Yeah. A lot of people, I think, can take injuries as something that's really, really negative and everything like that. And they can have a really bad attitude throughout. But I cried once when I got the phone call and I had to go read the pout fish to my daughter when I heard the news. I actually tore my ACL from the MRI. And other than that, I feel like I had a really good spirit about it. I knew I was going to crush rehab, crush lifting, running, and getting it back to healthy. That wasn't the issue. It was just I was really upset that I couldn't be out there with the team with as much success that they were having during the season. Right. So that was the biggest part that I was upset that I was missing. But at the same time, I really saw the positive. I was able to be home with my wife to help with our new daughter, Madison. Like, she was a handful, and we needed all hands on deck. And so that was a blessing in disguise to be able to be there with my wife to help her. And I also got paid, so
true.
I didn't see my price decrease in that aspect. So yeah, it was a blessing in disguise, but obviously it stinks.
Right.
Going through surgery and everything like that. You don't want that to happen, but you kind of have to see the positive in things. And I'm a man of faith, so I was just praising my Lord through the storm, Yep. And you never know. It easily could have happened my first year in the NFL, and I could have had no career. I'm going on year seven of my NFL career, and I've been blessed so far. So it's nothing been amazing. So can't complain from that aspect.
The average is like what, 2.5 years or something like that? 2 years?
2.8 or something, very close to that.
So it's not. By the way, Pout Fish, very underrated book. So
it really is.
It's a good one. I like that one. So now you went to Penn State. Your brother, who actually was originally signed as a free agent by the Patriots. Mm-hmm. He went to UVA. Was there any thought about going to UVA because he was 3 years older than you, right? So he was there at the time. Yep. And I know your father went to Penn State. So were you kind of torn between the two, or you had it in your mind you're going to Penn State, or how'd that all play out?
I just remember I've always had this dream of playing football with my older brother. And I remember I'm like, I would be able to have 1 year with him in college. And I thought that would have been really cool. But with Penn State, Penn State was okay during when I was growing up and stuff like that. They had some good years and they had some bad years. And I wasn't really much of a big football fan growing up. I'd rather stayed home and watched football on TV where I could go get a drink of water or go to the bathroom, like in the AC, you know.
Right.
And you could say I was I was more of a player instead of a fan, you know.
Right.
And I just remember one day where I had an offer from Penn State, and Chris Kulisani committed to Penn State to play linebacker. I knew they were only taking, I think, maybe 3 linebackers, and they were cutting off the scholarships. And I just remember when Chris Kulisani accepted his offer, I was like, crap, dude. Like, now you have to make my decision go quicker. And I just remember that's when I realized, I'm like, I can't miss out on this opportunity because, one, I was a defensive end in high school and a tight end. So if I wanted to be the best linebacker I could be, I needed to learn from the best. And Penn State had Paul Posluszny, Dan Connor, Josh Hall, Sean Lee, Navarro Bowman. I mean, Mike Motti, obviously, like, not there at that time, but Mike Motti, Gerald Hodges, Mike Hall, and Glenn Carson had a successful career. Like, you just keep naming them, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I was like, they're doing something right. And I just needed a good base, and Coach Ron Barron did a great job. And, yeah, I'm glad I chose Penn State.
Nice. Your dad must have been pumped.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of crazy. I'm one of 5 kids, and I'm the only kid who actually went to Penn State. So
really,
yeah, we live we're from State College,
right? Yeah.
So it's actually really funny that I'm the only one who actually went.
Well, it's almost like, I mean, I almost too feel like, you know, it's like going to high school, right? It's like you're there already, right? Yeah. So it's like you're in the town, literally, that it is. So it's like it's almost like you just want to get away a little bit, even if you just go, you know, down the street to another school in Pennsylvania. It's like
basically. I'm made up for it. I've been away for 6+ years from State College, so making up for it.
Yep, very true, very true. Now you originally were drafted by the Raiders, but you didn't make the Raiders squad, correct? Is that right? And then
I got cut at the end of the camp. It got signed to practice squad. And I remember John Kondo got hurt the first game. I think he got blindsided, got knocked out or something like that. Sorry to say that, John Kondo. I know. I go to his golf tournaments every year. And so they needed a room for a spot for like a couple of weeks. So they released me. I was the last guy to make the roster, you know, 7th round. It's kind of like a 50-50 shot, you know. And I remember they're like, yeah, we want to bring you back, blah, blah, blah. And for me, I can't pay $1,800 a month in rent for a single home and just making on practice squad money. So we canceled our rent and literally packed up the TV, put everything, like returned everything. And my car just got shipped out there, and we drove from Oakland, California, all the way back to State College, Pennsylvania, and made a big trip out of it. So that was real fun to be able to see the country. But yeah, then eight weeks later, I got picked up by the Phillies practice squad and left them after that year, and then went to the 49ers practice squad for the Super Bowl that was actually here in New Orleans.
Oh, that's right.
Against the Ravens. And obviously we didn't win that one. But made the team the next year by the grace of God, and then kind of goes from there to Jacksonville, to Atlanta, to New Orleans.
Yeah. Now, you can share with us here, okay? Were you the guy that shut the lights off during the Super Bowl?
No, that was Beyonce doing her thing.
She just rocked it too hard, and they just say that to shut the lights up.
I wasn't able to see it, but my brother and my wife were there, and they said that it was amazing, and she had an amazing concert, and that had to be the reason.
Could have been, certainly could have been.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if you ask Ray Lewis, it was something else going on, but
hey, that's why you play 4 quarters.
Maybe you snuck behind the curtain. You know what I mean? So now, okay. So we talked about last year. Obviously, it's tough to talk about last year, right? Because Jesus Christ, obviously from your perspective, not a fantastic play, but one of the most ridiculous plays probably in the history of the NFL. Were you at the game in Minnesota? Were you there? You know, I just can't even imagine. I mean,
I was on the sidelines, and I was sitting there standing, and I'm like, I can't believe we're winning this game. I go, for us to come back from what I'm like, we don't deserve to win this game.
Right.
And that play happens, and I was just in awe. I was just like, he had to step out of bounds.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of emotions going through your head and everything like that. But at the same time, I can feel for Marcus. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to make that type of play, obviously. And if people knew football, they would understand why he did that.
Right.
It was a bad thrown ball by Keenum, kind of behind. If he threw that perfect ball, he's in front of him 2 steps. He's out of bounds. He catches it, field goal. We lose the game anyway. And it was a bad thrown ball, so he had to stop in his route and catch it up. And Marcus was assuming he was going out of bounds, trying to keep him in bounds. And he just missed him. If he would have just grabbed his shoestring, he would have fell down. I don't know how he stayed up.
Right.
So,
well, he also hit the other guy that was standing right in front of him that could have made the tackle.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is, and crazier things have happened. You know what I mean? And we're just part of that one, and learn from the mistakes, obviously. But just grow as a team and support one another. I mean, we win and lose as a team. I mean,
of course,
we easily could have never let them score as many points as we did, and we could have scored more in the first half, and we didn't need to go down to that. So, it wasn't just that play. We could have won the game earlier, you know. So,
now, have you talked to Marcus since, or?
I mean, after the game, give him a pat on the back and say keep your head up and everything like that. But other than that, after we get together as a team and everything, everyone kind of like spreads out and does their own thing.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. I mean, he had such a great rookie year and really had played really well, you know, and was one of the top young seniors. You know,
he's a reason why we went so far. You know what I mean? So I mean, people make mistakes, and I mean, he's got to learn from them.
It's tough. I mean, I'm just a fan, right? I'm a season ticket holder of the Patriots. I've been a fan my whole life, and so you remember those little things like the helmet catch, and you know this year with the few of the plays in the Super Bowl this year, and in 2011 the Welker drop / Brady bad throw, and it's like
or the butt interception,
or right, all those things, right? And you're like the butt fumble. I mean, you know, so you remember it. So though you remember the good times, you remember the bad times, and I just, as a fan, sometimes I have a hard time getting over those bad times. But as a guy on the team, I just can't even imagine. Or as a guy in the play, like, you know, it just and like you say, if it was a good throw, if it had been what you thought it was going to be, you know, it doesn't happen like that, and it just so happens that it works that way, and it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough, and you hate to see it happen to anybody, but certainly
but
you know what I mean.
It's the name of the game.
It's true.
That's true. That's why people get paid a lot of money to do what they do, and
that's true.
I mean, that's what makes what we do amazing, because you're just like, how?
Right. That's true.
Why you call us professionals. We make things like that look easy.
So. Right. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I have to say, you know, one of the things too, and you say people get paid lots of money, and it's true that a lot of guys do, but I think, you know, the story, at least before you got to New Orleans, you know, is an interesting look at, you know, I would say not the majority of the players in the NFL, but a lot of players in the NFL that are kind of bouncing around. They're on practice squads. They're not getting paid. I mean, you know, you guys get a decent salary in the practice squad, but you're not making $1 million on the practice squad, you know? So it's like, and the amount of work and time that goes into it. And not only that, but then you're traveling all the time, and you're always away from home. And so it's like, I think some people don't appreciate how much work and effort really goes into it. And obviously you have those elite superstar guys who are getting millions of dollars every year, but for the majority of the league, I feel like that's not the case.
Yeah, majority of the league is kind of like guys like me that are just, I feel like, fighting for their roster spot every year, because you always have younger guys, healthier guys, faster guys, always just trying to take your spot. And if you learn to make yourself valuable and learning that you can't be replaced, that's how you stick around. And yeah, a lot of the people aren't making millions of dollars. You know what I mean? It took me, going on year 7, it took me 4 years to finally get a decent deal. Yeah, I was making minimum, but after taxes, paying your agent, living expenses, blah, 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 you're making maybe 100,000 or 200,000 a year.
Right.
And the average career is maybe 3 years, that's 300,000. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot more than
Right.
a lot of what people are making. But I mean, then you're done. Then you're like, okay, what else do I have to do? Football can't be your number one priority, as in I'm making this much and it's going to let me retire after. A lot of people do different jobs right after football. You know what I mean? That's why you have to have your degree. That's why you just can't not have that school degree to fall back on. So.
Right. That's true. That's very true. And I think that that's something that gets forgotten a lot, about a lot of the league, Mm-hmm. So what do you think about this year? Now, I know Drew is coming back, a 2-year deal, it looks like. And it looks like actually the Saints have gone out and gotten some pieces for that defense as well. Coleman, Patrick Robinson, DeMar Davis. So seems like we're kind of stacking up. And I'll tell you what, you guys, when we played the Saints, we played you guys last year and spanked you in game 2.
Thanks.
And I know, right? And it was like,
well,
but it was almost
not you per se.
I know. Well, to me, I had nothing to do with it, right? But but it was almost like that was like a kick in the ass for you guys. You guys didn't lose after that, and you were unbelievable, and it was a totally different team. And so what are your expectations? I mean, obviously, it's you want to win every game, clearly, but what are you looking forward to this year?
For 2018, I think we want to build off of what we were doing last year. We don't want to lose that momentum. You know what I mean? We're building something special with that team. We're very young, and we have a lot of talent, and going back to that Patriots game, we got spanked, but I think that was a rude awakening of hey, you want to win or go home. You know what I mean? If you don't want to play, you don't want to play. If you're not out here to win, then get out. We got someone else who's going to do it. You know what I mean? And that's the name of the league anywhere. And we really rallied with each other during that time because we had 3 games away. We had to go Carolina away. We had to go London away. We had a bye week, and I don't know if it was a home game or not after that, but you get the gist of it. We had Detroit at home after that because that was the game I tore my ACL. I remember that.
Right. That's right.
And so we just had a wingspan of tough games where hey, we need to win these 3. We need to. And they just kept on stacking, and it was fun to see, especially the younger guys just bowing up and putting the games on their back and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Lattimore, right. Marcus, and those type of guys. It was fun seeing the success that they had and the swagger and the energy that they were bringing to that defense. So
yeah, I mean, you guys had I think probably, if not the 2 best rookies, close to it, in Lattimore and Kamara. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Kamara and Ingram, that dual threat, man, that was really fun to see. Our offensive line, our offense was doing a great job of putting them in the best situation possible. You know what I mean, with the plays and the offensive line blocking and Drew Brees being Drew. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's funny because you talk about the league kind of turning around and win or get out, right? And it's can you control your kids over there, by the way, please?
Yeah, you have 3. You kind of know that you can tell them hey, be quiet, and they be quiet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's exactly how it works. No, but starting out 0-2, right? And the Patriots come down and wipe the floor with you guys, and the talk up here was that might be it, right? Drew's out, Peyton's out, time for a change. You know what I mean? And they're not responding the same way, and the team is this and that, and Brees isn't the same, and it's all of a sudden they just, you guys just turn it around, and it's holy crap, Drew Brees is still one of the best, quarterbacks in the league, and Peyton's probably still one of the best coaches in the league, and it's it just felt like the national narrative, right? Was ESPN was oh, that's it. Was this the end of the Saints? And it's no, not actually. No, it isn't, And so it happens so quick where it's all of a sudden, and I mean, even going back to, 07 and 11 with the Giants, for me with the Patriots, both of those years, in the middle of those years, we're talking about firing Tom Coughlin in 07 and 2011, and they end up winning the Super Bowl that year. So it's
they hate you when you lose. They love you when you win. You just gotta stay consistent and get better every day.
Right. What have you done for me lately? It's a very what have you done for me lately thing, right?
It's a fact.
So let me ask you a personal question. Who do you think would win in a fight? You or your brother?
Which brother?
Your older brother. Your NFL brother. It's not really fair to fight your other brothers. You're an NFL athlete.
Hey, he's a fullback. He's a big dude. He's 6 foot, about 250 right now. So
What? Okay.
yeah. So my older brother, to be honest, I would have to say he would win because I remember I went down for him to UVA for like a week, and him and his roommates would box.
Oh God.
And just seeing my brother just like wail on these guys. I was just like, oh gosh. And I'm like, let me try like in high school, and all of a sudden someone jabbed me right in the stomach. I'm like, oh, not for me.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I got no interest in boxing whatsoever. There's just no need to get punched in the face, you know?
Wrestling might be different because I'm very elusive, and if my ACL was fully healthy, like if I was myself, and I would give myself a chance.
Okay. Well, yeah, you are smaller. I mean, not smaller, but you're like, you know, I mean, you play linebacker, he plays tight end, so you're certainly going to be like quicker than him, right? So,
but if it was in Halo, I would kick his butt in Halo every time.
Are you a Fortnite guy, or you just stick to Halo?
I've been doing Fortnite, not as much as Juju and Ninja, but no, I don't do that much. But I got 2 kids. You know how it is.
That's it, man. Never played. My PS3. My son broke my PS3. Like stuffed all these little stupid toys in it, and so like so the Netflix and shit still works, but the other stuff doesn't work. And I'm like, we should get a PS4. And my wife was like, no. You're not playing video games. When you can play video games, and I'm like, you're born, you know. So, but that's the way it goes, you know. So let's. Before I ask you about that, so your uncle is Jeff Hostetler,
yes.
Which people may not know that. Now, serious question about Jeff: is he pissed at Nick Foles? Because I would be pretty pissed at Nick Foles
because he was the only backup quarterback.
That's it, dude. He's the only backup quarterback to win the Super Bowl, and now he's not the answer to a freaking trivia question anymore. Goddamn, Nick Foles is the answer to a trivia question.
Hey, they can be both answers.
I suppose that's true. But he was not the newest one, right? Although, if we could do a little spin zone.
I know Nick, and he's an amazing guy. I'm so happy for him for doing what he did. You know what I mean? Which is amazing itself. You know what I mean? Because I know what fame, and I know what he's going to get from that, because what my uncle was able to accomplish too.
Right.
And I'm not going to be upset for a guy to have that success. You know, I'm so happy for him.
I'm a little upset. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little upset.
Yeah, of course, because you're still a sore loser. So you need to learn to get on to the next play and move on. That's
I know.
Being a professional.
Well, you notice how I've mentioned like 6 times how we beat the Saints this year, and I'm just like, you know, I mean, I got to hold on to something.
You keep on saying we.
I know it's awful. Aren't I terrible?
You must have been at in your room screaming at the TV. I'm sure Bill Belichick heard you, but
he did, actually. I hate people like that too. I actually I sit in the stands. I have season tickets, and so I sit in the end zone, and I'm yell all game. That's all I do, because I'm like, I'm there. I might as well yell. And people like, he doesn't hear you, and I'm like, I know he doesn't hear me. I realize that, but like, I still got to yell. Like, that's what I'm here for, you know.
It's okay. So, we didn't lose a Super Bowl.
That is very true. That is very true. So, but yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting. It is exciting, you know, historically wise, you know, with Philadelphia winning, and Philadelphia never won a Super Bowl before, and them getting there, and Foles doing it, and it's like, you know, it's really kind of it's an unbelievable story. And obviously on the New England side of it, there's lots of you know, what ifs, and if this had happened or that had happened. But you know, it's still a great story, and
for sure.
Jeff will just have to share some of the spotlight with Nick Foles.
I guess so. I think he'll be okay with that.
It's just the way it goes. You know?
I'm sure that's the least of his worries.
I would imagine that's true. So now you have a foundation, right? It's called State of Hope Foundation. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yep. It's me and my wife started that a couple of years back, and it's to help disadvantaged kids in the State College area that come from broken homes, disadvantaged situations, and single parent homes, and just trying to bring a positive influence in their life. And I mean, we've helped out with Park Forest Day Preschool with T-shirts and gifts for Christmas. We helped out with donations with money for food on weekends for the kids who don't have food to eat. We actually created our first program called the Carry On program, and that gives these backpacks of like toiletry items, a Bible, a blanket, and a couple knickknacks of like toys and stuff like that for kids ranging from like 8 to 13, boys and girls, that
Nice.
foster kids that go to different foster places where they don't have anything to do with the name. So this gives them something tangible to be able to call their own, to give them something substantial in their life that they can be proud of. You know what I mean? So we're really excited for what we're doing in the community that gave Marissa and I so much support through my high school career, through my middle school career, to my college career. And very blessed with all the people and support we've had so far. And very excited for our second annual celebrity golf tournament in June 30th in State College. And I actually think we'll have Chris Hogan come to that golf tournament. So if any Boston guys want to come down and play in the golf tournament,
okay,
they're more than welcome. They can go to stateofhopefoundation.org/events, and the golf tournament's right there, and check it out.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really great. I was looking at that and I was like, oh, that's awesome that you guys have and it's, I think, pretty reasonably priced. I mean, I played in a few golf tournaments and I'm paying, anywhere from 100 to 150, and you guys are like 175 a person. So it's really not.
Yeah, it's not
even for an average person, it's not. It's not overly expensive to be able to.
Plus, we have some the golf tournaments I've been to. I always just love to see what the prizes are. You know what I mean? And I feel like prizes are what gets people to come. You know what I mean? Right. And the celebrities, and having free beer on the golf course. And
that doesn't hurt.
Playing golf and get away from work and stuff. But I mean, Bose is doing our sponsorship with our prizes, so we have like the QC 35 twos as first round and the sports ones for second round. So we're getting some beds from Nectar as prizes too, and they're going to be donating some beds too for the State of Hope Foundation. So we got some great things going on. So
that's great. It seems like, and most athletes have some sort of foundation, and it's great that people give back. And I'm actually a teacher in my other life. My alter ego is a teacher, not just a podcaster. But you understand, and it's hard for a lot of people to realize how many kids are in the position of the kids that you guys are helping, and that don't have anyone, or don't know where the next meal's coming or where they're going to sleep that night. You know what I mean? And so, for you guys to be helping out with that is really awesome, and
thank you.
Certainly a great thing. So,
thank you.
Yeah. So I think that about does it, my friend. Awesome. Best of luck to you in the rehab process, and really wish the best for you moving forward. And hopefully, now I won't be there. I won't say we, but hopefully you, as the Saints, get to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl 53. That'd be pretty cool.
I heard someone predict us versus the Steelers, so sorry about that.
No, Steelers don't beat the Patriots anyways. That's the last time the Steelers beat the Patriots. So if you're going to pick the Steelers, might as well pick the Patriots. So, you know what I mean? All that matters, you just get there and let the Patriots worry about getting there. And then
that's our goal. That's our goal.
If that happens, maybe we'll have you back on. Maybe after the season, we'll have you back on. Be a little focused at that point. Well, thanks, man. Take care and have a great day, all right?
You too. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Bye.
See ya.